Today, as a jury decides the fate of Christopher Palmiter, the stepfather of Madalina Cojocari. He stood trial this week on a charge of failing to report the girl missing. This was the moment that verdict was read.
Your foreperson has reported to the court she found the defendant, Christopher James Palmiter, in 22 CR 366223, guilty of failure to report disappearance of a child to law enforcement. Was this your verdict? So say all of you? Yes. You may be seated.
Good evening and thanks for joining us on a very busy Friday. I'm Siobhan Bryan.
And I'm Jamie Bull. There is a lot to get to. In fact, the next 5 minutes, that's all going to be breaking news for you tonight.
So now let's get right to our Cam Gaskins live outside the Mecklenburg County Courthouse in Uptown Charlotte, where this trial has been playing out all week.
So Cam, we heard the arguments, the closing arguments from both sides earlier today. That took up a lot of the morning. But what's interesting here is when they wrapped up, the jury only deliberated for a short time. Walk us through that and what this decision now means for Palmiter.
Yeah, Jamie and Siobhan. So the timeline here is around 12:49 is when closing arguments wrapped up. That's when the jury was handed the case and dismissed to deliberate. It took them only about 20 minutes or less than 20 minutes to hand in that guilty verdict. So a very quick decision from all 12 jurors in this case. Now the defense in their closing arguments tried to argue that Palmiter was being manipulated and that Madalina Cojocari was intentionally hiding Madalina from him and not telling him where she was. Whereas the state came back and argued that didn't matter. It was still his responsibility as her guardian to know she was missing and report that to the authorities, and that he failed to do so, and the jury ended up agreeing with the state in these arguments. Now, failure to report a missing child is listed as a Class I felony in North Carolina, which is the lowest classification of felony in the state, and Palmiter had 0 points on his previous record, leading the judge to sentence him to 30 months of supervised probation on top of fines for court costs and attorney's fees. Now, just a few moments ago, we tried to speak with Palmiter as he exited the Mecklenburg County Courthouse. Here's what that scene looked like.
How do you feel that the jury found you guilty in less than 15 minutes?
Mr. Palmiter maintains his innocence. We've been a notice of appeal. Disappointed with the decision.
Mr. Palmiter, is there anything else you'd like to say?
Any message for Madalina if she's still out there?
We also heard from Cornelius Police Deputy Chief Jennifer Thompson, who said that they are certainly, thankful that this part of the process is over, and now the focus will fully shift back to where this case originally started, and that is finding Madalina Cojocari and learning what happened to her. Reporting live at the Mecklenburg County Courthouse, I'm Cam Gaskins, WBTV on your side.
We still wonder where the little girl is. Bottom line to all of this. Cam Gaskins live tonight. Thank you. While the trial in this case is over, as mentioned, the search for Madalina goes on. This November will mark 2 years since the last time the little girl was seen. She was 11 then. She's 13 now. Investigators have vowed to find her no matter how long it takes. We'll bring you updates as we learn them. Again, if you're just joining us, Christopher Palmiter, the stepfather of Madalina, has been found guilty for failing to report her missing. Madalina's mom, Diana, has already pleaded guilty to the same charge. Both of those parents are out of jail tonight. Siobhan.